Okay, good morning class. Dugang kulat akong problem nga kay wala kita klase ng Monday. So, labi na ang Monday, wala magkasulod kasi na di. At least ang Tuesday nagkasulod. Sige, dugang kula para pwede lang mag-relax eh. Kaya may naman ako mga prior videos. So, I think ang ada kita percentage because again, chapter 1 includes basic stuff like percent density. So, mga example ito right, mga rational. Pagkita ko, you can categorize them as rational expressions. Type mga rational expressions sa internet, mago sa algebra. But I consider rational expressions because they are derived from ratio and proportion. Ha? Kita na lang what they mean. So let's start to solve 1.19. How many grams of zinc must be used with 1.95 kilograms of copper to make a type of brass? So brass is an alloy. Alloy is a solution of metals in solid form. Usually kasi natin solution nga na-imagine is in liquid form. Nagahalo ka. But actually, that's the same concept with metals. Kaya lang, bagtik na hera. So when they are in the molten state, they are being mixed. Okay? So just like solution. And then when they harden, they're already mixed. So that's why I call them also solution. Some authors also call it solution. Or more appropriate in the general sense, it is an alloy. So one thing na mapapansin mo is there are only two metals in the alloy, zinc and copper. And then one of the metals given has given a mass 1.95. So I think I can solve this three folds. Kita na lang ano tiyo maayunan. But again, introducing you the concept of ratios or somewhat conversion factors. Sige, I'll solve first one is by formula para klaro. So maybe your approach for this is the formula. So again, given is you have ito, 1.95 kilogram of copper, and then you have 35% copper, and then 65% copper and 35% zinc. I think that's what is given, and then 35% zinc, 65% copper, 65% copper, 35% zinc, and then copper is given 1.95 kilogram of copper. So if you base it in a formula, because what is asked is the mass of zinc. So again, kung formula tayo na naon, formula is basic naman lote niya formula. The percentage of zinc, kay mass of zinc mat kailangan. So basically, we need the mass percent of zinc. So mass percent of zinc is the mass of zinc divided by the mass total um, equals times 100%. So that will give us the 35%. Okay? That's actually the formula in which the mass of zinc is not given or that is asked, and then the mass total is usalaan mayda. Okay, this is a classic one. So maybe you can solve this by formula. You say mass of zinc is equal to 35 all over 100%. So by algebra, so I could put it down here and then multiply it here. So that's simple algebra. So sana wala na ini mga dapat dati na kami mga study ni, di ba? Balimbalhin, karami ang balimbalhin. Okay? And then I'll try to define the mass total. So 35 all over 100, that is 0.35. Then the mass total, so 35 divided by 100, that is 0.35. So cancel na ang percent. So the mass total actually is the mass of zinc plus the 1.95. Okay? And then I could say, actually, you can solve this by solver already kung sugad ka mo yung mag-solution. Anyway, di ko man kamo panapag-math, ipapadiretso ko kamo. So, you can solve this using solver, tikang didi. Pwede na lang kamo sumiring in case I will be needing your solution. Pwede na lang kamo didi mag-string dayon by solver. Okay, para maarama kung nag-solver kamo dahil dawar na ka mag-algebra. So, what you will do, you will have alpha x, alpha x for zinc, so x na tiyagin ko consider, and then you will put alpha equal, so maso dito ya. Okay, and then 0.35 times, you put it in a bracket, and then alpha x plus 1.95. Okay, so dito ya. Okay, ay mo calculator. And then you pidlit-pidlitize, shape, and then solve. Yan. It will ask for a value. Pwede nang butang 0, 1. So may dito niya bearing dito amat, pero of course, ta akong laan ay magbutang. Pwede to 0, pwede 1. Basta makukuha dahil yan number. Kaya ibaga tiyahin nag-iterate, nag-iterate. Di ko lang ibaga, nag-iterate dito ya. So daan iti iteration kasi diri makaka-derive ita mga answer. But for most simple ones, it will derive. So pilit talaga yung equals. Okay? Pag pilit niyo equals, may magawas nga mass of zinc which is 1.05 kilogram. At that is the answer. So that's one way of solving this one using the concept of formula. So kailangan maron ka formula hiton mga percent. Kanda mo inidani takser nga kung da mo inihira, magme-memorize kat mga formula, molecular. Damo kasi itong mga percent. May mole percent, may mass percent, di ba? May volume percent. Ano pa ba? Anyway, okay? So, another way to solve this one is using the concept of ratio proportion. Kung ang ratio niya, pwede ka lang sumering 1.95 is to 0.65 or 65%, pwede lang 65%. And then you have x is to 35%. Pwede ka na dahil sumering 1.95 all over 65% is to x. Diba? Or mass of zinc all over uh, 35%. So I think it will give you the same answer. 1.95 times 35 divided by 65. So, and it will give you, tadang, 1.05. See? Naging masayon niya kung ginhimula niyo yung ratio and proportion. And that will give you 1.05 kilogram because of course the unit for this one is kilogram at the percent cancel. So you have same answer. Masor sa yun. Ada, I don't know. Another thing to look at it is by conversion factors. Solution 3. This is solution number 2. This is solution number 1. Kitala niyo ha. But I guess my point here is really dami ito pwede nga solution. Bahin ka makadiscover yung solution. Labi na itong mga complicated na problem. As long as you can derive and wala kang mag-cheat. Of course, ang cheating na part, kung baga ma-cheated ka, manakot pagdakop. Pero masarap sa'yo naman pagdakop kung maaram na daan. Ito yung mga utok. Diba? Panglit. I don't know. Bahala ka mo. So, solution number 3 is I will think of it as a conversion factor. I will start with 1.95 kilogram of copper. 1.95 kilogram of copper. So, ini ka-convert they are equal, of course. Equal tira. Ini, ika-convert ko tiya nga to zinc. So, paano man? Magunaw na lang itong conversion factor. Ito mo makakonvert ini something may da kilogram iton copper. Which is probably ini nga 65%. Pwede ka kasi magunahon na in 100 nga total, may dani mo 65 nga copper. So, I could think of it as like that. Diba? I would have a 65 kilogram of copper per 100 kilogram total. Pwede kit magsugad. Baka cancel ko iton kilogram copper. Now, makadilawat ako dito ka ng zinc. You have a 35 kilogram of zinc or pwede gram, bahala ka mo. Gram, pero gram lutit ubos, of course, for 100 kilogram total. So, pwede ko tiya yan. Kay total ito akong concern, ibubutang ko yung ubos. 100 kilogram total, you have a 35 kilogram of zinc. So, makakancel ko diya. So, by that, your unit now is kilogram of zinc. So, by that, 1.95 times, cancel manggapit 100, cancel 100. So, basically, you will be dealing only with 1.95 times 35 divided by 65, which is the same as this. Diba? 1.95 times 35 times 35 divided by 65. Of course, compute na natin. And that will still give you 1.05 kilogram of zinc. So, it is saying that 1.95 kilogram of copper is equal to 1.05 kilogram of zinc. Ganamo ito akong sinisiring nga mga rational expression. Actually, you can do this Nga bisan itong periodic table, ginsugal ito nira paghimo. Nagtimbang nira and then relatively, pagtikang, labi ng pagtikang, and then they say that this kilogram is equal to this mole. Labinahan na ira na kung ano kada mo ito sa nga mole. So damo ito nga mga expression sida, ito ginsugad la ito ya. Equivalency. Ini nga kada mo, purport na sa rin kay 100 kilometers per hour. Kaya pwede ka malang sumering, 100 kilometer na kung na-travel o sa ka-oras. 100 kilometer ana akong na biyahe ha usa ka oras. They are not equal really, but you say that they are equivalent. Actually, yeah, term ito is equivalent. Equivalent. Hito nga particular case or scenario. Nga namo gyud ito iba nga mga expression ha chemistry. Pwede ka lasugan magunahuna and then pag gagamitin mo nera, you can do it like this as a conversion factor as long as you have those equivalent. Diba? Three solutions. Thank you guys for listening.